What's going on, awesome people? Good evening and welcome to another episode of Awesome People Instagram Live. My name is Iman Hushmand and it's just great to have you here on a Sunday evening. What else you got going on? Well, I'm sure you got a lot going on, so I appreciate you tuning in. This is a program dedicated to spotlighting some of the most awesome people that I know, and most recently, it's spotlighting some awesome individuals that are in some shape or form a part of the July 3rd Azadi Festival happening in Tysons, Virginia at Shipgarten. If at this point you don't know what Azadi Festival is, a couple reasons. You've probably been living under a rock, or you literally just came across my page like 17 seconds ago, because anything before that, you've been hearing about it a lot. But if you do want more information, click the link in the bio or go to azadi-festival.com. But in short, it's a 12-hour program where we're uniting through culture, and there's a lot of cool elements to this 12-hour program, which will also be live streamed, by the way, and which will include the food and the drinks and the music and the entertainment and the poetry. And my guest right now on Awesome People Instagram Live is going to be my longtime friend, Kamyar Arsani, who's a super talented performer. And I'm just excited to have him a part of the program. And I'm happy to have him on this IG Live so you can get to know him better in case you don't know him. Kamyar John, punch that plus button at the bottom so I can see that you're in the waiting room, and I'll bring you on in a second. In the meantime, I want to give a little bio about him. He is an Iranian-born avant-garde multi-instrumentalist and singer-songwriter based in Maryland. That's my home state, by the way, in case you didn't know. Through his solo work and numerous collaborations, Kamyar creates music across an array of styles, ranging from classical Persian music to punk rock. I have to get this right. Punk rock and genre-defying electronic experimentation. A teacher, a scholar, and badass performer of the daf, which, as you know, is the Iranian frame drum. Kamyar has been a featured artist at the Kennedy Center, shout out to DC, the Library of Congress, shout out to DC, Voice of America, shout out to DC, Georgetown University, basically the most prestigious places in the DC area. He's been rocking on it, and numerous other stages and workshops. Kamyar's latest work, Bird and the Cage, was released via FPE Records in July of 2022 and received review from The Wire magazine. That's huge, by the way, The Wire. Setting an original poem along with 4 poems of the contemporary Iranian poet Sohrab Sepehri, along with daf, acoustic guitar, piano, flute, electronic noise modulations, and Kamyar's liquid singing in Persian. This album evokes hypnotic moods familiar to fans of obscure masterpieces like Scott Walker's 1995 album Tilt and Vangelis's 1973 Earth. First of all, I love this. Did you hear him say that, like, moods that are familiar to fans of obscure masterpieces? Pretty cool. You can already tell how awesome of a personality that Kamyar has, which he does. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, if you are ready, I'm about to welcome to the Awesome People Instagram Kamyar Arsani. دست به افتخارش لطفا تا دست نزنی ایشون نمیادش. And free too much, of course. درود بر شما.
Hi, salam Iman Jan. Hi, hello everybody. Good to see you, Iman.
Great to see you too, man. My brother, would you mind bringing the camera down a little bit so that we can see your beautiful face instead of the top of the wall? There you go.
Is that better?
Yes, sir. How are you, man?
All
Good
right.
to see you. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you. I'm good, brother. I'm good. Just trying to keep up with everything that we can keep up with and make sure we do our jobs right.
That's right, man. And it's been a while that I haven't seen you in person, but I'm glad that in just a few days, on Monday, July 3rd, I get to see you in person, and then you get to do what you do best, which is create magic, you know. For those who aren't familiar with you, can you give them a little bit of background, where you were born, your journey to where you are now in Maryland, and then we'll take it from there.
Yes, sir. What a journey it's been. So I was born in Tehran in 1987, and it was the end of, not the end really, it was the extension of the Iran-Iraq war. So the first couple of years, it was a lot of going into the shelters with parents in and out. And I hear the stories about it. And I'm like, huh, interesting to be born in that environment, but also just having this deep love for Iran. I've had it since I was a kid. So I try to just be open to all Iran has to offer to me as the kid that I was, confused. And through the years living in Iran till 2008, um, I learned DAF with Bijan Kamkar, Osad Bijan Kamkar, at the age of, I think I was third grade, how much so. Yeah, 9, 10. And I fell in love with the vastness of the sound of it at that age. I couldn't explain it, but tried to learn it. And Osad Bijan is a kind of a teacher that pushes you to be more experimental than just sticking to the same things that had been done before. In his own words, it's been done better, so just move on. And because of that, right, so there's always that the eyes to be open and ears to be open to listen, and because of that, I just have the best memories of just like forever from living in Iran till 2008. Um, and then across the time in Iran, of course, I spent time with Sohrabpur Nazeri and Ostad Ardeshir Kamkar. I learned Kamanche with them, and I played it for a little bit. But during the university time, I went to Ostan Mazandaran, Shahristan Noor. Shout out to Noor. And it was interesting because as a person from Tehran, because of the gentrification, that I didn't know the term at that time until I came to the United States, and I was like, oh, that is called gentrification. So because of the gentrification, I was still a stranger in that town. I had to embrace it and introduce myself and become a part of it. And it was funny that at the time I was like, oh my God, this is so hard. And it was just a few hours from my hometown. But then, one night, a whole process that was, it was easier to be hidden for safety of my family and everybody during the Green Movement. My parents figured it out somehow by the miracle of their actions and all that. And they brought me and my sister out of Iran during Green Revolution. After the shootings in the University of Tehran started, I think just triggered everything in my family to come out. And at the time, I was very upset about leaving Iran. At the time that I was about to become a youth on the streets and be able to help the movement at the time, but I couldn't see the long effect that I could have on Iran if I leave Iran and try to educate the other cultures about what is going on inside of Iran. That is also the other part of what a person can do. So from there, I don't like writing diaries and things, because as soon as I write them, my mind changes its mind about the words. I want to change it, and it's just a whole thing. So I don't write about my memories of the day or what's going on. I try to just take a deep breath. I got a guitar because in the United States that was the cheapest, best instrument to get to start songwriting. So I started writing those memories of Iran, and oh my God, I'm here. I miss Iran. Started writing those songs on guitar, and um, thank universe that has always been ears around me that are like, come here, you need to share that. And for the first years of being in the United States, it wasn't necessarily being shy. It was that I felt as if there was no correct platform for what I wanted to do, not necessarily for Iran or Iranians, just for what an artist could freely do. I had to sit back and choose what I want to do, where I want to do it, when I want to do it. And in that way, it helped me expand myself in different dimensions and different ways of the music scene and industry. And because of that, I just started playing shows here and there, just when opportunity was right, people were good, and stage was right. And because of that, yeah, I've been part of music scene in DC. I came to Virginia first in 2008, then, DC, then Maryland now. I'm in Frederick, Maryland now, and I love this town. It's awesome. It's great. It's downtown. It's super cool. And people are very educated. Other parts of Frederick are opening themselves to the education. So it's very good conversations. And so, yeah, it's been a journey of just trying to heal self and then heal my home. And those have been so heavily on my mind constantly, just by normal of the day, not even before revolution starts in Iran, nothing was always good. But even on the good days, I would look at the pictures and I would just cry. So because of that, I felt as if there's this like life that is telling me, hey, follow this path, sing Farsi, speak, tell other people about Iran, about what the beautiful parts of Iran and not what they see on the media. And here I am, thank universe. I've had people who liked what I do and they gave me stages and platforms. Thankful to you and your crew of United and Conquer to make the Azadi Festival happen. So it's been a journey of healing self and then healing home on others. And happy to be still alive, happy to be here with you and continuing the movement of this revolution until the day of freedom.
All right, yeah, man. So you left, I think, Iran when you were about 19, 20. Is that, did I do my math
Yeah,
right?
20. Yes, yes,
So,
yes, yeah.
so what are some of like your fondest memories of Iran, and like what you miss the most about Iran?
Just being creative about walking in the streets. That was like the basic of the day where you're meeting your friends and you want to go somewhere, and some of them might be females. So you know the map of the Bastille where the cars are parked and the times of, anyways, the political social aspect of just being in the streets of a country that by birth I knew that there is no straight path to what I see to do. It's always like, go here, talk to this person, tell you that, can we make it happen? Because there's always a roof over the dreams in Iran at the time I was born, but because of the government and not because of people or anything. So fondest memories are I always think of it every day. It's been 15 years. I mean, I think of it every day. Every time I open the door, I remember texting my friends and be like, all right, you're in that corner. I'm in Valley Ass. Meet you up in Jordan. We're going to go to Farmaniya, pick up this person. We're going to go down to Abbasabad just to get to a restaurant. 5 of us to get to a restaurant. And I love that. And then in the meantime, hey, guys, there's a party going on. Let's go there. And the whole idea of there's always somebody watching you and trying to hurt you for what you are. And then you being yourself still and just truly being yourself and embracing what is there in a weird way. I think of it as a privilege now because it taught me a lot as a person, as an individual. And even though it's hard to look from outside, but to me it was the sweetest thing to see people in action on daily basis to try to be themselves and create parties, create memories for each other, be happy, go into nature. That's the beauty of Iran. If you get a car, if you have anywhere to drive to, 3 hours, 4 hours away from Tehran, blown away. It's just like, wow. And you don't need any drugs or any drinks to just be tripping in the desert in Iran. So there's so much, the ambience of life in Iran. It is so obscure, the term obscure, it's magical. At the same time, it is heartbreaking. But this nation, this land has been through so much in the centuries that its poetry still shines a light on the world in the modern day. It will forever. Our food, our recipes, the way that we love hosting others, we love showing and teaching about things. That is a spirit that will always, always carry us. And no Zahak, no Raisi, no Khamenei, none of them are powerful enough to stand on the stand of the wave that Iran has. And so I think that again, that was another beautiful part of it, that you are nothing. You who says, I am nothing, therefore in this relationship you are nothing. So let's dance to see who has the right to be. Just that basic, to the right to be. And I loved it. I remember during Tasua, Ashura, people in Iran especially know it's a whole thing. It used to be, I mean, I'm sure it's really horrible, way worse now. But when I was younger, when there was a Khatami time before Ahmadinejad, and there was this time where things were a little bit loosey, and during like Tasua, Ashura, during the Hosseiniya and all the sinas and all that mourning of people banging with chain, we would be texting our dates to go meet up somewhere during that time. And my friends would wear red pants, pink shoes, and white t-shirt, super tight with chains and all that. Just going against that, no, you cannot, just so simply and so freely. That I always tell my friends here, like, you got to go get a ticket to Iran or somewhere anytime of the political presence, because you see people living. They still live their lives, whatever it takes. We will survive because we have each other. Governments will not survive because they might have each other's backs, but the land, it dictates to be home to people who work for that land. And that's just the nature of Earth. So with that trust in my heart, I always think of Iran as not the sad things that happen during the happy times, but just the spirit of what created those happy times, between me and my friends. And so, yeah, all I remember is just friends, partying, having fun, singing, learning amazing instruments, going to people's houses, just seeing DAF on the wall. And the joke was, I don't play it, but I have it. And I love that. And I miss that, I miss going to people's houses and seeing instrument hanging. It's it's interesting to have that as a part of your blood culture and go to another country and then consider like, oh my God, you're so bringing so much culture to this building. And it's interesting to think of, wow, yes, there are centuries of cultures happening within Iran and Iranian diaspora from the time that everybody started immigrating from Iran, that we have so much to not only say or just tell others, but to be proud of, to be happy with, that will be always a mirror for us to look at ourselves and say, hey, we can dust off this mirror. If it breaks, it's fine. We'll get a new one. We'll all chip in dime by dime. We'll get a new mirror and we all can look at it together. The mirror is going to be big enough for everybody to look at it and enjoy it together. And we all are going to wipe it on our own ways so that nobody gets tired and worn out. So it's, I'm just in a crazy, depressed way, very excited about what is going to be Iran.
First of all, I love all this perspective, man. I mean, I've asked a lot of people these kind of questions, and like, nobody has taken me into the streets of Iran like you did, and it's like you kind of make it seem like it's like this game of Qaim Mushak Bazi that like
Yeah.
adrenaline going, and like it's almost like you fear but you don't fear, and like but maybe it's also because you were much younger too, so you think you can get away with anything when you're younger. But
Right.
but all the good things that you explained is really what we're trying to do at Azadi Festival, like the food, the music, the performances, the poetry, so on and so forth. What made you agree and give us the pleasure of being a part of Azadi Festival? What drew you to it? Why do you think it's important? And what can we look forward to as far as your performances?
I just have to say it again. I know I've said this in text, but Iman, thank you so much for setting up this festival in such a short period of time, just coming up with the idea and making it happen. Your group of folks who are running everything, it's a lot of work. It's a heavy load, and doing it for Iran, it was just no-brainer for me to just once I saw the invitation, I was so thankful, grateful. Just right away, I was in because it is not just about oh, Kamyar, I'm going to give you 15 minutes to play, and Kamyar comes play and goes. This is a family gathering. This is all of us Iranians, or whoever loves Iran, or whoever is just walking by and loves the vibe and wants to walk in. That is what I always look for, especially in the United States. I mean, I always look for it in Iran also. But here, speaking the second language as a person who was speaking Farsi for half of his life, speaking English here, it is just nice to see Iranian faces, hear the conversations, and it does happen, but not often enough or not big enough all the time. So you creating that possibility and opportunity for all Iranians to be a part of it with all forms of art, food, any form of offering really anybody has in the communities to get people together. You've been a very heavy part of the revolution since day one. And I connect with you and everybody in your team on that level. And because of that, it was family just saying, Kamyar, do you want to play? And I said, absolutely. And I am looking forward to this performance because I'm going to play. I have two sets of music now that I play. I play my DAF, not my DAF music, but it's the Persian mystical music that is in forms of the language of Farsi, Kurdish, and sometimes I take folklore melodies from different areas of Iran just to warm up the hearts of folks who are there and remember those melodies from when they were in Iran, and bring Iran with depth a little bit there. And then with my guitar songs, I'll play a couple or three or four, however long time I get. The songs that I write are based on the inspirations I get from the contemporary poets of Iran, and especially Ahmad Shamlu, Sohrab Sepehri, Simin Behbahani, and their poems that are romantic and political at the same time. And because the point of lover in my poetry and the way I see art is always Iran. So I sing these poems for Iran, and I hope that energy can project and lift folks who are in the audience. And I hope to see everybody there. I hope to see a lot of people. I hope to see everybody in the United States there. I want it to be so packed that we can't breathe, and that'll be great because we need that. It's so weird to say that after pandemic time, but yeah, I mean,
I love it. And
yeah,
you have such great energy, Kamyar. Like, well, I'm like, I feel like I met you like 7, 8 years ago, you and your sister, however long it's been. And it's always been such great energy. And you transfer that energy and the love onto your performance on stage. And so for those who've never, seen you live, they're in for a treat, and I can already tell how you're going to take them on a musical journey around Iran, and I'm sure
yes,
there's
sir.
a lot of stuff that you've been gathering from even your years in America, like it's really your entire journey, your entire life always comes out through your music, and so it's a beautiful thing that I'm definitely excited for, and everybody will enjoy it. Let me ask you something. When you go back to a free Iran, which we both know that it's coming, only thing that we don't know is when.
Absolutely.
What is the first thing that Kamyar Arsani is going to do when he goes to a free Iran?
Oh my God, I'm gonna open up my DAF right at the airport. That will not be named Imam Khomeini. It will be Furudgah Azadi, Freedom Airport. And then the Freedom Airport, everybody is just so cheerful and crying from joy, and everybody's dancing. Just probably, I feel like that airport is gonna be like a hub for millions of us that first minute we get there. We don't want to we just want to breathe in. We're like, is this real? And I just see it so real that I get goosebumps myself thinking of it all the time. It will happen. And that moment, I'm gonna open up my DAF. I just play a 6/8 Sarkazi rhythm for everybody just to dance and sing and just go and just hit up all the houses of my friends, be on the streets and just walk all over Iran, praying for it, praising it. Oh my God, there's so much to do going back there. There's so much. But also the dream of mine is to go there and start a special education focused school for all dimensions of special education, special needs. And so to hire and educate teachers and people and group for it and build a building so that I can start that side of behavior science when it comes to special needs folks to make sure that there is this peaceful education happening. And that is a dream of mine, to go there, play DAF right away, see my friends, drink some arak, why not? And then go and start that school, There's so much work to do. There's so much dancing that needs to be done. And all these years of suffering that we all have been going through, all of us Iranians, are going to pay off because I have a thing I say, turning nekbat into hikmat, like turning a bad thing into a good lesson. So this is going to be a good lesson that we show the world that, hey, there are dictators all over the world. And we can complain for many years, but there is solution, and the solution is what we did. Look. So hopefully that will shed a light on the rest of the world too. So that's also why I'm excited, because Iran will be the democracy hub where there is this understanding of everybody coexists.
I
Yeah.
love it, man. I need you to make a promise to me right now. You were thinking that when you arrive to Azadi Furudgah, that you're going to play a shisha hash. Don't tell me what it's going to be, but I want you to think about it. And on stage, before you leave for the last part of the evening, you decide when, but I want you to play that one song that you would play the moment that you arrive and you break out with your dap. Okay, so think about it, and when you're on
You
stage,
got it.
I want you to look at me and be like, Iman, this is the song that I plan on playing when we get together, and we're gonna take a 747. All of us together, and I just want to be there when you open up that daf and do what you do best, man.
It's gonna happen, brother. It's gonna
The
happen.
last question for you before I let you go enjoy the rest of your Sunday. What does a free Iran look like to Kamyar?
In free Iran, every individual has a right to breathe, exercise their practices, and find love the way that their lights tell them to. Every person does not feel not protected or unsafe. Each individual in a free Iran has a right to be happy, and every Iranian sees the opportunities that are for them to be happy. In a free Iran, there is no need to scream at each other because in a free Iran, everybody is at peace.
Beautiful, man. I appreciate that. And what you just envisioned is what I hope to experience next to you on July 3rd at Azadi Festival. Truly grateful for you to be blessing our stage with your talents and with your kindness. And just can't wait to see you, man. Give you a big hug and let you do your thing, you know?
Yes, sir. I can't wait to give you a big hug too and your crew. Thank you so much, Iman. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. And I will see you July 3rd.
Take care, brother. Bye-bye. I told you, man, this is a cool dude, Kamyar Arsani. You get to check him out live on July 3rd at Shipgarten in Tysons. And if you're not able to make it in person, shame on you. No, I'm just joking. If you can't make it in person, the good news is that the entire 12-hour program, which starts at 1:11 p.m. and goes all the way until 1:11 a.m., will be live streamed. Just go to azadi-festival.com. You can go ahead and click a button to subscribe and be reminded when we go live. There's really no reason why you shouldn't be able to be a part of this in any capacity, especially because it's also a super long day and night. So hopefully, even if you're working, you're able to kind of tune in at some point. In closing, I just want to remind you all that there are 6 ways that you can help support Azadi Festival and make it an epic, epic, epic event. 1, become an ambassador. An ambassador is somebody that basically says, hey, you know what? I want to be intricately involved. I want to help out. I want to be a part of that WhatsApp chat with 40 plus other amazing people that are working day and night right now to put together a truly diverse, ultimate Iranian experience. Part 2, you can become an ally, where you're like, you know what? I don't have time to be super, super involved, but I want to put my name behind this. I want to use my social media platform and tell everybody and anybody that you need to go to Azadi Festival. And by you posting it and you saying that you're an ally, you are giving credibility to the program, to your entire community. So you're going to be one of the best promoters of our program to get the word out to as many people as possible. Then you can become a performer. If you're in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, or you'd like to perform, message. I'd love to see your video performances. Let's see what you perform, whether it's music or instrumental or poetry. There's still about 2 or 3 slots that are going to be open that I'd like to kind of give opportunities to young artists, up-and-coming artists, to showcase their talent. Or you can go to our online store and you can purchase some of our merchandise, Azadi Festival merchandise. 100% of the proceeds go into the production of this program, thanks to our friends at Retail Therapy Clinic. Or you can become a vendor. If you're in the DC area and you're an Iranian business owner, a creative, an artist, you can go ahead and come to and get one of the vendors because there's a bazaar. So hopefully we get to support you and you get more business out of it. So we're all supporting each other. And yeah. And to answer the question by Allison, will there be politicians speaking? There will not be any politicians speaking. And the reason is that when it comes to politics, we start dividing. And so we are really just giving power to the people. The people that are speaking are our ambassadors, are people that have been fighting for the last 10 months consistently in being the voice of the people. Not being a voice of any kind of movement leader, not being the voice of any kind of political side. It's truly amplifying the voices of Iranians. So that's why we don't have any of the movement leaders, even though I'm sure we could have invited them and perhaps they would have considered coming. But that's not what this is about. Azadi Festival is about celebrating and preserving our culture. And through our culture, making sure that we are the most loudest voice that we can be for Iranians fighting for a free Iran. So there's the answer to that question. I appreciate you asking. If there are no other questions, I will let you get on with your evening. I want to thank you all for everything that you all have been doing to share the details of Azadi Festival to your followers. And please continue doing it. Encourage people to buy tickets. Encourage people to, in some shape or form, help the program out because we need to finish this home stretch as strong as we can. We don't want to leave any stones unturned. We have a really incredible opportunity to make this a historic and impactful 12-hour experience. So if you love what you're hearing, please join us. Go to Let's Unite and Conquer Instagram and look at all the awesome people that are either ambassadors or allies or vendors or sponsors, so you can see how this is already a major community effort. And we're just trying to multiply it, so we can amplify the voice of Iranians. Thank you so much for tuning in. And tomorrow I'm having another IG Live for sure. Tomorrow my guest will be, drum roll please. Oh, at 3 o'clock, I have IG Lives with Matt Rufagaran and Peymana Haji Ismailu. They are the owners of Shipgarten. And I'm grateful for all that they've been doing so far to give us their space and allow us to hold this festival at their amazing venue. And then we also have at 5 o'clock, Nicole Lee. She is actually one of our ambassadors, and she is a publicist, and she's done a lot in helping us get the word out in the media contacts. And so happy to have her for an IG Live at 5 o'clock. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you guys. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Shabbat Mecher, Ba'omide. Azadi.